everyone. In this vlog, I'm going to take up a couple of questions that frequently come to me from people I mentor in technology and technology management space. One is, how do people at the top manage their work-life balance? And the second is, how do you show a gap in your resume or your profile? Say you're taking a gap for several reasons. So the first is, people at the top, say at the director, senior director, a vice president, or a senior VP level in corporate IT or corporate world, find themselves in a very, very intense situation, because you are almost at the top of the pyramid in your organization. So you'll have a small cohort of colleagues that you are peers with, but you have reporting lines spanning pretty wide and pretty deep. A typical, say, IT director or a typical VP or a senior VP will have about 150, 200, 250 people reporting into them. In addition, they'll have about dozens of systems and platforms and technologies that they are owning, managing, which means the job can be pretty intense. These jobs are not typical 9 to 5 jobs, because the expectation is you're going to resolve the issues of all your colleagues and all the people who are reporting to, and of your seniors, leaders, and the functional leaders, which means any system outage, you're on top of it. Any system upgrade that needs to happen, you're on top of it. Roadmap for the platforms and systems, you're working closely with your stakeholders across the globe. In many larger organizations, it's literally across the globe, because you'll be managing teams working across regions, across time zones, which means your time is not just your time. So typical executive at this level will be working 10 to 12 to 14 hours a day. Not to mention the kind of travel that's required for workshops, to visit stakeholders at different sites, different locations, and of course to meet your leaders, your managers, your bosses, who may be in HQ or in different countries or different geographies. All this can be pretty intense, and people at that level in the leadership thrive on this intensity. But it's a very conscious decision to take on that stress without burning out. And burnout does happen. So let's take the example of this person, Raj, who I worked closely with and mentored for a couple of years. And the other day I was looking at his LinkedIn profile. And what stood out was that he was back in the game. I hadn't seen his profile on LinkedIn in a while, and his profile just popped up because he was hiring a number of positions. Like if you see here, a number of job openings at his new organization, different profiles, right? And he's apparently building a big team. And if you look at his profile, he's a senior VP and delivery head for the banking financial services. Now, what took up this role in April? He took a 2-year hiatus to pursue a personal goal. More than about 2 years, just to take a break, a career break, to pursue work-life balance, if you will. Now, before that, he was a VP of online services at Wipro, another big multinational, where he spent about a year and 4 months. Pretty senior position, if you see. Now, before that, again, he quit for about 7 months to pursue a personal goal. Again, before that, he spent 2 years at Wipro. Right? Now, it is fascinating if you see, spending 2 years there, pursuing a personal goal, and then another year and 4 months, again pursuing a personal goal. So he is a high intensity person who's focused on his career, but in between takes a hiatus to pursue his goals. And now he's back in the saddle hiring again big time. So what are the lessons that we can learn from this profile or profiles like this? There are 3 or 4 basic lessons here. Number 1 is a person at this level takes on that intensity but is totally focused on his job. At the same time, has his eye on the ball and says, I will complete these initiatives, I'll take on this project, take on these initiatives, deliver this. And if it means burning the midnight oil, literally, I'm going to do it. But at the end of that, he is more than willing to take a break for personal reasons, and is not ashamed of that. And the second is, when you do take a break, be upfront about it. So when you get back in the saddle, when you again float your resume or start reaching out to headhunters, be upfront about the reason for the break. Could be a layoff, could be a reason to recharge, reskill yourself, or spending time with your family, or learning something new, or doing something very different. Have your story ready. Be upfront about that. The third, very important, is at that level, you build the kind of network that you have. People who can vouch for you. People who will say, Raj, I know him. Let me get him on board. Even if he has taken a break, he's worth getting on board and he can deliver for me. So have the credentials, have that personal brand name. Personal brand name independent of the organization. The most important is you stop comparing yourself with your peers, with others in the same organization or other organizations, because you are at the top of your game. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to chalk out your own path. And I'd given a talk about this a while ago. I'll share a link to that video, where I take the analogy of a career break as someone in a very long train journey who decides to take a break in between, in one of the stations or one of the stops in between. And eventually you will get to the destination, but it's not the same destination as your peers are taking in that same train. So a career is a kind of long journey, a marathon, not a short sprint. So while running that marathon, you're also focused on recharging, refreshing, and keeping yourself energized. And that's being in the game. That's not getting out of the game, getting in the game, being in the game, in the flow. And so if I leave you with these lessons, one is focus on your work-life balance while giving your 110% to the job if and when you are in that job. And second, if you do take a break, when you do take a break, have a compelling story, reason about it. Be upfront about it. The third, most important, have your personal brand name and personal network of people who can vouch for you and you can reach out to, that you build along the way. And the fourth, most important, stop comparing yourself with your peers, and you should be good. Thank you.